Man, you know people like complaining about stupid fucking shit. What the hell is this guy complaining about?
This is digital blackface.
Well, I don't know how black people are in London, but blacks in America are pretty dramatic. No offense, but that's just the way it is sometimes. We're not making this shit up. No one's forcing black people in those videos.
Digital blackface, right? He's referring to this video.
Blackface is when a non-black person uses makeup to blacken up. Minstrel shows depicted black people in all sorts of negative ways. They were mocking, demeaning stereotypes, and they exaggerated black people's facial features and their expressions. And digital blackface is the 21st century version of that. White people using GIFs to perform some kind of exaggerated blackness.
I mean, who cares? Who gives a fuck? Look, most people don't give two shits about this thing called digital blackface. No one cares. But they're promoting this ridiculous idea through the media because they know that it'll generate reactions from these anti-SJW types, for example. And it'll create unnecessary commotion, activity for a useless cause. It's what they do to advance certain agendas. In this case, it's the agenda of division. Look at the pro-gay movement. How did that come about? Look at the pro-transgenderism movement. How did that come about? Nobody gave two shits about sodomites. Nobody cared until the media started propagandizing that shit. Same thing with transgenderism. Nobody gave two shits until the media started propagandizing that shit. Just 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, Paul Watson made a video about trans people. You know, he essentially rebuked them and spoke the common sense that transgenderism is a mental illness. It's irrational. It does not contribute to the natural world. But because it's been promoted and has received so many counter responses, it's necessitated the conversation. And the conversation has moved in a direction where a lot of people now are having to accept or claim to accept transgenderism. It always starts off slow. They'll start saying, you know, it's not like I have something against transgender people. It's just transgenderism is not normal. You know, they're mentally ill. That's where it starts. It then transforms itself into, you know, I'll accept to call him a she if that's what she wants, you know, just out of respect. It then goes from that to, you know, if she feels she was born a woman, that's fine. That's how it always is. When was the last time Paul Watson made a video rebuking transgenderism? Since Blair White came along. The dude hasn't. He just hasn't. Why? Because a lot of these YouTubers are, you know, I don't want to say spineless, but the closest word to that definition without being equated to it, that is the word I mean to speak right now. A lot of these people just don't have any fucking backbone. As soon as Blair White came along, a lot of them just stopped speaking out against transgenderism. I mean, Blair White is a mentally ill man who thinks he's a woman. A mentally ill man with a YouTube channel. And he just so happens to be anti-establishment and opposing liberalism. So that's the good thing. That's what's great about Blair White. This man stands as an example of the things I was saying in my previous video about the establishment not giving a fuck about you. It's about how they can use you to further an agenda. So this brings me back to my point. This digital blackface thing, no one cares about this shit. And a lot of these anti-SJW YouTubers are going to be posting videos saying, you know, this is what the liberals are saying. Liberals are not talking about digital blackface. No, you motherfucker. It's the establishment using the media. They make stupid videos like this because they know dumbass YouTubers like this are going to make stupid videos like this.
Headdresses and gross black dreadlocks. You know, the hairstyle where you literally don't wash your head. You put wax and oil in your hair and let it get all crusty and stinky all day. That's some great culture you're bringing to the table, black people. Very impressive. I mean, I don't want to be offensive, but this BBC chick started this.
This is some seriously racially divisive stuff he's producing here. Now, is this Mr. No Bullshit racist? Probably not, but he's not too bright, that's for sure. Which liberals have you ever heard or seen talking about digital blackface until this video came about? No one cares. No one has ever cared. But people like to complain about stupid shit. It's like what happened, I think it was last week, where it was revealed that the new Lord of the Flies movie would feature women instead of guys. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? What the hell? Look, unless you're some sort of sexist motherfucker, you're not going to complain about that shit. Who gives a fuck? It is not a relevant point of incendiary discussion to point out that women are now being put in the film instead of boys. Look, here's the thing. There's an artistic argument to be made for women being put in the stead of boys, because the book has already been written. Boys have already been portrayed. We've already seen how things play out according to the mind of the man who wrote the book, when a bunch of boys are placed on an island with no adult supervision. We've seen how that happens. So to turn it around and put women in that stead could make things interesting. It would allow us to see how things would turn out if women were there. Now, if they're doing this simply for the sake of championing some SJW propaganda, then the film will be a flop. It'll fail just as the Ghostbusters movie failed. You know, they put a bunch of women in the movie for the sake of putting women in the movie. But if they're putting women in the new Lord of the Flies movie to reimagine things, and simply for that sake of artistic expression, there's nothing wrong with that. But motherfuckers like Ben Shapiro want to be making silly videos about this shit because, of course, they need to keep making videos to make money. You know, they want to be on some, the fact that they're putting women in this movie instead of boys is really quite shameful and disgusting. It should not be permitted. It does not make any sense, and it is not in accordance with the original book. He wants to be saying some shit about, boys are aggressive. My 2-year-old son, if you talk some shit about him, he's going to punch you in the face. Oh man, they want to complain about stupid shit, right? Nobody complained when we saw a female version of Superman. Nobody complained because it's just another one of those what if scenarios. What if Superman was a woman instead of a man? How would things work out differently? It's a what if scenario. That's what it is. And the thing is, if indeed, as I've said, they are putting girls in the new Lord of the Flies movie simply for the sake of trying to appeal to, SJWs, if you want to call them that, then the movie will fail and what they're doing is stupid. But it is possible that they aren't doing it for that reason. Knowing the establishment, however, the fact that it's possible that they're doing it for a good reason doesn't mean they are doing it for a good reason. They very well might not be doing it for a good reason. But it's not SJWs, it's the establishment. Let me actually take some time out to point out something very interesting that happened a while ago. I think this was last year, I'm not too sure. There were some news articles floating around on the internet saying that people want to see a gay version of Thor or some shit like that. There were several of these articles being posted across the web saying people are calling to see a gay version of Thor. And that wasn't true. Nobody was calling to see a gay version of Thor. No one. Nobody. Not even the gay people were calling for that. No fucking nobody. But the establishment had conspired with certain people, as they always fucking do, with certain fake news sites online to spread this bullshit, to spread something stupid on the internet and hope that it'll catch on. It's the same way that they do with ridiculous pseudoscience like the theory of evolution, or the idea that gays were born gay, or the idea that black holes have been proven to exist. But anyways, that's a discussion for another time. People like to complain about stupid shit. And these anti-SJW YouTubers are complaining about stupid shit for that YouTube money. And in fact, it's not benefiting their cause. If what they want is unity, peace, harmony, and for people to stop fucking bitching about stupid shit, then they need to stop fucking bitching about stupid shit.